Welcome in. This is 300 yards to unknown. I'm Rick Gehman. That right there, Eric Patterson, the newly married Eric Patterson. He's off the market, ladies. Apologies. It's over,
The
EPAT.
ship
Dude,
has sailed.
congrats.
Thank you.
All went well. How'd everything go?
It was perfect. Couldn't complain. I'll always remember it as the weekend that Brian Gay won. So that is something very unique. I don't know what's more unbelievable, me getting married or Brian Gay winning at 51 years old.
Yeah, you picked a good one to take the week off, my friend. Bermuda with Brian Gay winning. Yeah, I think you did okay.
Yeah, no, it's good that it's over with, and now we can devote our full attention to the week we've been waiting for 7 months. It's like the last when the Masters was supposed to happen, that was like a different world at that point.
Yeah, I remember the tweets that were like, "This would have been Masters week,"
That was tough.
and I'm like,
Those are tough pills to swallow.
the world is upside down. Like, it was absolutely crazy. Things were changing so quick all over the world. We didn't know what was happening. I mean, we still don't really know what's happening, but like, it was. I remember being like, "Holy crap!" Could you imagine if the Masters was going on right now?
I know. It was tough. We had nothing to look forward to. I think like I didn't even have like the schedule laid out yet. And it's crazy to think of how far we've come since, April 2020. Yeah, I'm so happy we're here. It's pretty crazy that we pulled it off and everyone on the tour pulled it off because yeah, we get to do this and talk about it.
There is so much to talk about, and I know both of us have already spent a lot of oxygen. We have put a lot of words on screen for this week. So where do you want to start? Here's a grab bag. Here are your options. You can pick Bryson, you can pick Rory, you can pick Tiger, or you can pick things that are like happening now that guys got to the golf course.
Yeah, I might be Brysoned out, to be honest.
We don't have to do Bryson at all.
No. I think we have to. He's the talk of we can save it for later, but I might be. I mean, yeah, I'll talk about what's going on right now. I think we can talk about Jon Rahm. Has he used up all his magic beans in two back-to-back hole-in-ones already?
Maybe he will just make an ace every single day for like all week long. I saw
that you could bet him plus 100 to make a hole-in-one this week. So that seems like,
dude,
can he go 3 in a week?
Plus what? 100?
No, I'm sorry, like 100 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, that is theft. That is pure theft.
Even money. No, yeah, Rahm. People are saying that's like the most incredible shot they've seen. Would you say it is?
Can you? Okay, so if you haven't seen it yet, we're recording this Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. He did this a couple hours ago. He went to 16, did the tradition of skipping his ball across the pond, lake. I don't know what it's called, and
definitely a pond.
That's a pond. Okay, and he holed out. He made it. He aced it. Which, first of all, you're a much better golfer than I am.
I don't know about that.
Can you skip your ball across the water like that?
Truthfully, I did this on a par 5 from like 50 yards. It was like 3 skips. Actually, no, that's a lie. It wasn't me. I was about to take claim for something, but my buddy did it.
What just happened?
Dude, it's been a long day. I can skip my ball, but I don't think I have no chance of putting it in the hole. I've seen it done, but even Rahm's like 3 skips and then hit the green and it rolled for like the entire length of the 16th green. So that was it's a good shot. It's a great shot. I want to see him try it on Thursday though.
I've never tried this. I need a golf ball deal if I'm going to try this because it's going to take me a lot of cracks and I'm going to lose a lot of balls. So I'm going to need to stock up and get out there and try this, but I've never even tried. So first of all, not only does he skip it across, but he gets it to roll in. It was as with all aces, they are a lot luck, but this is next level stuff. It was really cool to see.
Is this going to be one of those like magical Rahm weeks? It's his birthday today, 2 hole-in-ones. First major. It can go one of 2 ways. He could have used all his luck up, or it's just downhill from here. I think it might be the one where it's his week.
Everything just the stars align. Everything go right for him. He shoots like 62 every day. By the way, you mentioned like the hole-in-one stuff. The amount of props that are available this week, Unbelievable.
It's like rivals like the Super Bowl. Like you can get so deep and so lost in the odds. It's you get dizzy looking at it all.
Some of them, as with most props, are just the Tiger props are just burning your money. Like it's crazy. So William Hill has specific Tiger props. He's 35 to 1 to win by 2 or more shots. Eric, he's 35 to 1 to win. Why would you ever bet this?
I haven't gone through them all. That one's pretty ridiculous. I think I just saw from Jeff Sherman, who's like the Superbook guy. He's got Tiger now down to 50 to 1. So not a lot of love for our defending champion, and probably with good reason.
If he shoots 68 or lower in all 4 rounds, that'll earn you 200 to 1. If he goes wire to wire, 150 to 1.
That's absurd.
These are insane.
And there's so many of those props where for Tiger, you can't bet no. It's like,
Correct.
Will Tiger shoot under par in round 1? Yes. You can't bet in the no because there's just so many that are just one-sided, so it's not even really worth your time.
But I do love the past champions. I do love the top lefty, the top debutante, the top player from each college. Arizona State,
that was a fun one.
Oklahoma State, you can do so much good stuff. And then of course the Albatross special. Will there be an Albatross? What odds do you think the yes is?
I think I saw it. Was it plus 2,500?
Wow. If it is, you got a really good number. DraftKings has it at plus 1,200 right now, 12 to 1.
There does seem to be a lot of albatrosses at Augusta.
It's where they put the pin on 2.
2, yeah. And I guess Bryson's going to have like a pitching wedge into all these par 5s too. So he's playing it as a par 4.
What did he say par was? 67?
I don't even get that because what is he playing? One of the par 4s is a par 3. I guess number 3 he thinks is a par 3, 350 yards.
Yeah. Or he thinks he can drive one. Or he thinks he can drive one, which is the other option. But yeah,
if he drives one, did you hear what Nick Faldo wants to do? Or he said he will do? Maybe not wants to.
I think he said he'll run around naked. Is that right?
It's one of those, yeah, it's one of those things where like I want to see it happen, but then I really don't want to see it happen quickly after. So
that's pretty good. We can talk about Tiger first. I mean, it's what outside of the fact that he has, I was gonna say 5 green jackets, but isn't it true they only have 1 green jacket? Like
yeah, they get the same one.
Yeah,
that's why when he put it on last year, he goes, "Oh, it still fits."
Okay. It's
unless he substantially changed size, they get him a new one. But so like if for some reason he just got extremely jacked, like a la our guy Bryson here, like yeah, they get 1 for their entire time.
You just get 5 trophies.
Yeah.
There's like 0 evidence he's going to play well this week, right?
So like apparently I didn't hear it, but I guess he alluded to the fact that so when you do win the green jacket, you get to take it home, and he said something in his press conference that rivaled like, you know, it was nice to take my green jacket home for the final time or something along those lines, almost alluding to the fact that he was done. Wow. And he also said that because he talked about winning last year and then winning in 97, just like how that was a nice bookend. He called like his wins like a nice way to bookend it. And like, I don't know, he hinted twice. I got to find the transcripts, but it sounded like he hinted twice that like he might know that was his last Masters win, which maybe we all know that, but kind of weird to hear him say that.
Yeah, you usually don't hear them admit that. Wow, that's I did not pick up on either one of those. So good ears by you.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he seems like he's in a great state of mind. He seems very happy. He's pumped about serving champions dinner tonight. But
I was going to say tonight's menu looks pretty good.
Sushi and fajitas is like sashimi wraps or whatever. It's a lot of hand food, and then he's milkshakes on top of that. I mean, that seems you can get some spicy food in there, maybe a little raw fish. Recipe for disaster there, but
yeah, I wouldn't be waking up tomorrow feeling very well, but I would enjoy it tonight with the past champions for sure.
Just Tiger. I hope he doesn't miss the cut. But I just really don't expect him to be a factor at all.
His odds to make the cut and miss the cut are very close to one another. They're like in the plus 200 range, both of them.
I wish I had it in front of me. When was the last time he even missed the cut at the Masters?
He's only missed it once. It was like
98?
8. Yeah.
In his title defense.
Yes.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's crazy. Yeah, I truthfully don't want to see that, but I mean, it's definitely in the it's definitely a possibility.
Here we go. Oh no, sorry. I'm an idiot. I was wrong. So to make the cut, he's minus 278. To miss the cut, he is plus 200.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
That makes a lot more sense.
Top 50 in ties. They've got rid of the 10-shot rule, but there's still a lot of guys that make the cut. And I mean, Tiger can figure, he knows Augusta well better than anyone. He can have his D game and probably shoot even par around here. So I don't know. My expectations are probably at an all-time low.
Bryson or Rory?
Let's just get Bryson out of the way.
He either wins by 6 or misses the cut, right?
Those are the results I'm cheering for.
Yeah.
I think I need to see either, pure dominance or he just loses it and he cannot find a fairway, just scramble city and just doesn't have the putter. I hope it's one of those two results.
William Hill had him earlier today. I'm actually pretty impressed with how quickly there's been a bit of movement here. So I saw it earlier today. Bryson was 7.5 to 1 to win, and he was 7 to 1 to miss the cut, which feels kind of right. I mean, if he's going to take on a bunch of new lines that we've never seen before, he's going to try to cut it over 13. If he starts banging it around in the trees for a while, we could see doubles and triples fairly quickly. Plus, you throw in the fact that exactly, and
I want that gif,
and you throw in the fact that historically he's putted very poorly here. You throw in the fact that compared to the rest of the field, his approach game from some of the ranges he's been in hasn't been all that good. I mean, there is definitely a pathway, albeit not a extremely wide one. There is definitely a pathway to him missing the cut.
Do you think the greens reading books matter for I got a little bit chirped on Twitter for citing strokes gained, putting, course history take, because I just think that it is a big difference for him, someone who would rely that heavily on them. He's always looking at them, reading the greens, and just to put a little bit of doubt in his mind for these greens, and then it lines up with the numbers. But historically, he's been a bad putter, so I don't know. It seems like there's a reason why he putts so poorly.
I think it matters to him more than anybody else. So I think if you took away greens books from everybody, that's one thing. I think Bryson would probably struggle the most, because you have to remember he literally, I hate to always say it's a math problem with him, but he goes, okay, here's the distance. He walks it off. Here's the distance. Here's the grade and the slope that it is. I need to hit it this hard. And he actually measures it off of his feet. I need to go back to my right toe. I need to go back. He has a system in place. So and I think you nailed it, EPAT. Even when you just plant a seed of doubt, is it 3%? Is it 4%? That's a huge difference to him. And it's a big difference in the calculation. Just the doubt alone probably messes with it. It's like throwing a grain of sand in the motherboard blows the whole thing.
I know that's the only negative I can say about it, because he just has such a massive advantage. And I really, all the reports seem like it's coming out saying Augusta's playing soft. And that's like a recipe. Bryson distance and just hitting wedges into soft greens is that's how he's going to win. If they firm him up and doesn't have the right angle, or, he's hitting those half wedges that he can't really control the spin into firm greens, that's where he would really struggle. Every time I hear soft, I just keep thinking oh, this is more playing into Bryson's hands.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because I 1000% agree with this take. The half wedge thing, the spin. I'm going to ask Mark Immelman this in 2 hours when we go live with him. From my understanding, they can keep the greens firm even if the rest of the course is wet and soft. Now we'll see if it pours every day, if they can actually do it. But that sub air system, which first of all, I've learned I don't know how anything in the world works. Right? I don't know how things work. And I definitely don't know how this sub air thing works, where you literally, they're pumping moisture out of the ground.
I picture it as somewhere there's a giant fan, and there's all these pipes, and they just turn on the fan and it creates a negative pressure and just pulls the moisture out of the ground. It's just instant draining. That's how I picture it.
Who thought of that? That's amazing.
I'm guessing the people at Augusta, I'm guessing they might be the only. There's a handful of courses with it, but it's definitely a golf course only thing.
So they can, yeah, so they can run this all night and keep my long story short, they can apparently keep the greens fairly firm, which I think hurts Bryson. Also, before you answer that, EPAT, I'm going to try to, something's going on with my Zoom. So if I lose you, are you still there?
I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay. I think we're still recording. So I'm going to continue to go with this. I still
Looks
see
all good.
I have a backup. You have a backup. So we're good. Yeah, I think the firm situation would throw a lot more volatility into this whole thing.
We've been told if you watch Golf Channel for like an hour, they'll tell you that never count on. There's no course that can change conditions more than Augusta between Monday and Thursday. So maybe they're leaving it like this for the first few days. They're going to expect some rain, and then they're going to flick the switch, and it's going to change drastically come Thursday, which I'm hoping for, because I just don't want to see another soft test. But it seems like we're trending towards that.
Rory McIlroy. I don't know how to feel about his chances for this week, but when you compare the storylines of Bryson trying to win at Augusta or Rory trying to win at Augusta, the latter is a guy who is literally trying to do something historic that only 5 other humans have ever done and complete the career Grand Slam. That is a historic accomplishment. I think it's always going to trump whoever wins this week. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a big deal. I guess we're talking about it, but I don't know how many people actually believe Rory's going to win this week.
I don't think a lot of, he said it in his press conference, he loves this. He loves flying under the radar, if you can say that. This is probably the least amount of, publicity pressure he's felt or seen going into a Masters before. Obviously Bryson being there helps, and DJ and Rahm, all these other guys are playing really well, and Rory hasn't really been playing that great. So it's just almost like a little bit of a perfect storm for him to kind of sneak in here and almost steal the green jacket, if you can say that. But he's not the talk of the town right now, and typically he is going into the Masters.
I threw this up on Twitter a couple of days ago. The ideal final pairing on Sunday, who would it be? The vast majority of people said Bryson Brooks, which
I think I was one of them.
That would be cool, but it's not going to be that. Like, they're not going to talk trash to each other like they are on Twitter and Instagram, right? Like, it's not going to be that cool.
It just arm wrestles waiting between tee blocks and stuff. Yeah,
if they do that, that'd be great.
They wouldn't do anything. You're not going to get chest to chest, nose to nose confrontation. Right. Although I would like it.
Right. But that's what we want. That's what we're imagining, but it's not going to happen. So Rory Bryson that's my pairing, because
I like it.
Like we talk about the Bryson thing, especially if he's having success, he's probably doing it in a way nobody's ever seen before. Rory chasing history, that to me would be excellent. And then people are like, but what about Tiger? Okay, sure. Inject Tiger into the final group. It'll be fun. But like, let's be a bit realistic here first.
Yeah, they'll just do threesomes like last year, and you can throw Tiger into that mix. But I mean, you're right. Rory versus Bryson, good. Like, everyone would be cheering for one guy and pretty much pulling against the other, which is what makes. We haven't had that, it feels like, in a while for golf. There's not been like a big. I guess Reed has been like the biggest villain, if you want to call it that. But no one's really like hate. I don't want to say hate, but like, it's so easy to cheer against Bryson. I can think it's pretty easy to say.
What would be the worst final pairing? Patrick Reed and.
Oh, there's way worse than Reed.
Okay. Hit me with it.
I mean, let's go through. Let me pull up.
And they got to be like, let's pull up. And they got to be like,
oh, you like actual contenders?
Yeah, like the worst is going to be like, I wouldn't even say Snag. Like CT Pan and Nate Lashley would be the worst, but like that's not what we're doing here. Like the top like 25 guys in this field.
The worst, probably. No offense to him, he's a little boring on the course. Probably like Patrick Cantlay, Webb Simpson.
Cantlay was definitely made my list.
Although
so boring.
He impressed me. He's a talker. If you listen, again, another press conference thing, but he's pretty insightful and had like a lot of good stuff to say, but he is boring on the course. But Cantlay Webb would probably be like, that's not, hopefully that doesn't run too far into football, because their ratings will plummet.
The best thing Cantlay ever did was call somebody pampered fucks, and when they were in Hawaii on the
Yes.
hot mic, that
Have
was the
another
best.
Mai Tai.
Yeah,
That
like
was
if he did that like all the time, it'd be awesome. He'd be the best guy. But yeah, he just doesn't say much. He doesn't get too emotional. Okay, so you say Cantlay. Who was the other? Oh, Webb.
Webb.
Yeah, I love Webb, but
He's
I don't think that would
the
move the
general
needle.
public is not dying to see Webb grind it out on Sunday.
What about I don't know. You could get some storylines. Yeah, that's probably pretty good because everybody else, you've got Morikawa, you've got
What
Wolf, you've
about
got
like
Bubba.
Spieth Bryson as best pairing?
That would
That's
be
like
kind of good too.
that's the completely contrasting styles. One guy, like everyone, again, I think people would be cheering for Spieth there, but hard to say.
I love like if the only okay, we're getting a major, the Masters, where everyone's in great form, right? Could you imagine if Jordan Spieth was good?
Oh, I know. Imagine
The,
Spieth was like 12-1.
the game is so much better when Spieth is good, and I would love it if he found a way to get to the final group on Sunday. We'd be at a fever pitch. It'd be unbelievable.
I do think this is almost going to be like the net. What's the saying? The straw that broke the camel's back. Like this is going to
Yes.
be the final blow. If he doesn't perform here, if he misses the cut or top 50 or whatever, like 50th or something, it's just going to be like eye-opening for him to say, whatever I'm doing is not working. It's time for a change.
Completely agree. What if the final group was Frankie Molinari, Jordan Spieth, and they stepped to the tee at 12, like tied for the lead, 2 shots clear?
and both go full tin cup. Just
Oh my god. That'd be so
yeah, that's Molinari. He actually is having a little bit of a resurrection before he returns to the scene of the crime here. He played decent last week and
T15
gearing himself up for I don't know, it sneaky, like I don't know what's going through his head, but he's probably struggling to sleep at night right now.
All right, so Rahm, now that the guys are on the course, Rahm's made a couple of aces. We've got Tiger's champions dinner out there. DJ had a sandwich press conference today.
They asked him what his favorite part about the Masters was. Like, what's your favorite tradition? And he's like, what? He couldn't think about it. He's never won, so like he doesn't really get like the winners champions dinner traditions, all that stuff. And he just goes, yeah, the sandwiches. What do you mean the sandwiches? He goes, I love the sandwiches. And then he said all of them. He didn't pick his favorite either. And then he tweeted, he goes, I love this place. #sandwiches.
Yeah.
So he's in on it. But yeah, DJ and press conferences is like a comedy show for me.
We got the tee times. So let's see. Hold on. I tweeted one of these out earlier. Wow, I tweet a lot. Okay, so Rory, DJ, Cantlay. That's a pretty strong group.
Rory said that's super comfortable for them because they're all members at Bears Club and they're like kind of buddy there, so they're very familiar with each other. And I think that's good for all three of them.
Before I forget, so I'm going to change the topic completely, but before I forget, so CBS is doing this whole college. They're doing the whole like college game day lead into like the Alabama LSU game at night, and now that game is postponed, which kind of sucks.
I don't have the college slate in front of me, but apparently there's games getting canceled all over the place. So this experiment might not be going as well as they would have hoped.
Yeah, that stinks. Trying to lean into college football and not working. So Tiger's going out with Shane Lowry and Andy Ogletree, which this is what they always do, right? The defending champion goes out with is it always the open championship?
I would assume so. That's why it's Lowry.
Right. Yeah. And then the like an amateur
US amateur winner.
US
yeah.
Amateur
he was the 2019 US Am winner. So
right. So that's always
it looks weird on paper, but that just is what it is.
Right. Let's see.
And then Bryson's with Rahm and Louis.
Yeah.
Which is a couple big hitters, the two top favorites, I guess.
I love that. And they have so many guys to be able to do this with, but they spread them out. They just spread them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not creating them. They don't
these power groups, right?
There's a few that are like, okay, that's like definitely a featured group, but they're it's not like they do at the PGA where it's just like one after the other is just stack.
How would you feel if you're Matt Fitzpatrick in a group with Justin Thomas and Brooks Koepka? Try to keep up, little guy.
Play to your strengths, pal. Yeah, that's gonna be. They'll be playing different games, different courses there, but yeah, JT. I think I don't know. We can get into our picks later, but everything's kind of shaping up for JT this week. I love it.
I'm in on JT. He's my guy.
Quickly, I just finished writing this article, so I want to fire it to you. I'm going to give you like the top 5 or 6 guys, and you got to give me a case for and against each one.
A case for them to win and for them not to win.
Yeah, just or for them, not to win or struggle or whatever.
Okay, all right.
Bryson.
The 4 is he does things no one's ever seen, hits wedges into every green and putts well enough. The against is he hits shots nobody's ever seen before, rattles it around the trees, makes 2 triples and goes home on Friday afternoon.
That's pretty much what I had. Rahm.
Rahm, the good is the story for him is that he has every shot in his bag. He's maturing rapidly. He's a historian. He seems like he's ready to rock and roll. And the against is things get a little bubbly on Sunday and he can't handle his emotions. And one thing goes wrong and he's out of it.
DJ.
Wow. It's hard to go against DJ. So
this is the guy I struggled with the most against, which makes me believe like this might be his time.
The only thing against is that he had like the knock is that he has 1 major and he hasn't closed these out historically, but he should have. Like, I mean, he's just been snake bitten. He's been absolutely snake bitten in these major championships. There is nothing against him.
I know.
I won't take
a scary
a stand
part.
That. The good side is the game's in really good shape. He contends at major championships constantly. He played well in Houston. I mean, it's just like, yeah, he's ready to rock and roll, man. This is scary. It's scary.
What's the case against JT?
Wow.
Almost similar to
he can't putt. The story is he can't putt.
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't have a top 10 at Augusta either. I just think they need a little bit of scar tissue, like a late tee time type thing. I don't know. It just seems like you'd expect him to have like a top like 3 or 4 finish here.
He's gotten better every year.
I know.
12th place finish last year. He has all the shots. He hits it far enough. He's great on approach. He's great around the greens. But if he loses 2 strokes putting, that's probably curtains for him. He's not going to win.
Him and I think Justin Ray put out the stat of like biggest strokes gained putting differential between PGA Tour and Augusta, and Bryson was number 1, and I think JT was either 4 or 5 in the negative. So
I was gonna say getting worse at Augusta.
They get worse at Augusta, yeah. Wow. And Finau was like top 5 in the positive, if you want to.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
Well, he's played 8 rounds or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's a small sample size, but
who else do you have? This is fun. I like this game.
I mean, who did I give you already? I'll go
JT,
Rory.
The case for Rory is that his floor is as high as anybody's. He's one of the best players in the world. He has weapons with his driver. The case against him is he has not been good since the tour's restart with his approach. And there's some demons to exercise on the back 9.
You're writing my article, and like it took me a few hours to write it. You're doing it in like 4 minutes.
This is the best
Shoffley.
game ever.
Shoffley.
Wow. I guess the case against is lack of winning, lack of pedigree. I mean, I guess he's got a WGC victory, a tour championship victory,
tournament of champions.
Like
they're nice wins, but they're just not. They're not the Memorial, not the Genesis, not Torrey Pines or something like big.
Yeah. And
Arnold Palmer.
The case for him is, of course, no holes in the game. He's been red hot. He's on the verge everywhere he goes. Great shape.
But he should have more wins than 4, I think. It just and he's given a few away in 2020.
He's given away a couple of 54-hole leads, hasn't he?
I mean, the Tournament of Champions 2020 when him and Reed and JT in that playoff. That was bad.
Well, Xander couldn't get up and down on the 72nd hole. Or no, he 3-putt. Did he 3-putt or he couldn't get up and down?
Maybe it was in the first playoff hole, or it was on the 8th. It was definitely on 18. I forget what hole it was, but he blew his first birdie putt eagle putt by 15, 20 feet. It was one of the worst putts I've seen.
Yes, right. I remember.
Case 4 and last one. Case 4 and against Koepka.
Okay, so I am actually probably closer in the minority of like the case for him. I don't think is very strong.
Really?
The case for him is last week is Houston Open where he gained 6 strokes putting and a shot and a half around the greens. I don't think that's much of a case for him. I guess you could argue that the case for him is it's major season, which if you think he can
That's what it is.
literally flip a switch, you think this guy literally flips a switch 4 times a year?
Okay, so he was right in the mix. I know his Sunday at the PJ was abysmal, but he was definitely right there all week at TPC Harding Park, which is the last major we saw him play.
I'd have to go look this up, but my argument was when he was winning those 4 majors, like, I mean, I guess he wasn't winning other things. Right? I was gonna say he was kind of winning other things, right? But he only really won a WGC, a CJ Cup, and then that was it amongst the 4.
This guy doesn't mess around, and like, yeah, he's been battling injuries. I think that has a lot to do with it. He just doesn't really want to admit it, but he does seem to be admitting it now that those injuries played a bigger factor than he led them to believe. But
which
I do think he flicks the switch. I don't know.
Okay, so I think you nailed it. Okay, so he has basically admitted that the injury's been way worse than he's led on for the last year, right? We're in agreement with that.
He said it's been like over a year now.
Why do we think he's not still underplaying it? Right? Like, if we fast forwarded a year, are we gonna be like, wow, he's been downplaying the knee for 2 years? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why?
I mean,
why
he's had the surgery. He said he's had the rehab. It's been 2 months. He skipped the U.S. Open, which if he showed up to the U.S. Open and had like a top 20, and he said he's been feeling fine, maybe, but like, this is obviously serious enough to go get it taken care of, and maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Could be temporary, but it does seem like he said he hasn't felt this good since the middle of like summer 2019. So take it for what you will, but I don't know. 65 on the weekend, regardless of how he did it, that's not too shabby.
I want to get another stacked leaderboard like we had last. Like, I hope he's in it.
Dude, I couldn't. You go back to the leaderboard. The guys that Tiger beat is phenomenal.
It's unbelievable. I'll pull it up real quick.
Koepka, DJ, Schauffele were all runners up.
Yeah, here's the leaderboard. So Tiger wins.
Phenomenal.
Xander, Brooks, and DJ tie T2. Then in T5, Frankie Molinari, Jason Day, Webb Simpson, Tony Finau, Cantlay, Rahm, Fowler, Watson. That's like the top 15 guys in this field. Like,
JT's right there too. I think it's just
JT in the next group.
Unbelievable leaderboard. If we get that again, we'd be extremely lucky.
I will.
Because usually the Masters produces like this obscure winner, or like maybe a handful of guys, but last year was just like a who's who of, and the fact that Tiger at age 42, 43 pulled that off makes it even more unbelievable.
Makes me sad that he's now like talking in the past tense, and like,
I hope I didn't misquote him, but I definitely saw them. Like, I think Aaron Oberholzer came on and said he brought it up, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna put the onus on him.
All right,
it does. It sounds like he's maybe realizing his time has now really come to an end, but we'll see.
Let's do picks. I won't even recap Bermuda. It feels like a million years ago. So we've got a sleeper, a top 10, and then our version of the one and done. Actually, I do have to look this up. So you had Stenson at Bermuda. He WD'd, right?
He sucked. Yes, he did WD.
Okay, so I had Will Zalatoris. So whatever he got, he made the cut. So I'll go first on one and done. So sleeper for this week, Eric Patterson is who?
I don't want to take your guy, but
do it.
So no, I'll go Cameron Smith. I've said it before. For some reason, he's hitting it further than he ever has before. I think he's like second in driving carry or something. I think you brought this up on Mayo's show.
Yeah.
He's played well at the Masters before, and he's got a couple top tier finishes recently. So Cam Smith.
I love this Cam Smith call. Also, sloppy wet win at Sony. Might be sloppy and wet in Augusta, Georgia this week.
Different field, but yeah.
Different field, but he's also his last 2 starts. Would you? Obviously, they're a little bit different, but Zozo Championship and CJ Cup, similar-ish type fields, right? You get the top players,
top guys.
It's a shorter field. There's 20 less players or 15 less players in the CJ Cup and the Zozo Championship, but similar enough, right?
Yeah, it's not like he didn't do it at the Houston and the Bermuda. It was good fields.
So Cam Smith went like 11th and 4th or something like that in those 2 starts. Like and those were his last 2 starts. So
yeah, he's playing well.
I'm cool with that. I'm assuming who's my guy? That Kokrak?
Kokrak.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'll take Kokrak. I mean, I've spent a lot.
If driving distance is a thing, that seems like Kokrak's gonna let it fly.
He's been great.
I know.
He's been really great. Like I don't know what a great finish for him is this week, but like he's been piling up top 20s. If he finished T17 this week, I would be pretty happy about that.
I can see it. Yeah, he does enough well. He just won. He just, like we were talking about, he just beat the CJ Cup field. So
Yeah.
why not contend here?
Top 10. All right, I have to think about this. I was not ready for this. So I want Rory. No, yes. I'll take Rory. Sorry.
Most hesitant top 10 pick. Yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, I believe Rory has a very high floor, right? The argument I've been making is the irons have been trash and he's still like T8 at the US Open. He's got top 20s basically all over the place. Like that's his floor. It doesn't get any worse than that. If he figures out the irons, if he can put it all together, the ceiling is obviously as high as anybody's. But I also think he's got one of the higher floors for like Bryson's floor is on the ground. Like I'm nervous. But I don't think Rory is the same thing.
No, that's fine. I'll go DJ. I think that might be the safest top 10 pick of them all.
Yeah, I think that might be too. I was a little nervous. I was going to take DJ or Rory there. Did you hear Rahm in his press conference? So Rahm was like quoting, Spanish history. He was talking about 30-year anniversary since Sevi something. I forget what it was, but he was like, yes, us Spanish guys, we have 6 green jackets. I mean, 5 green jackets. He just anointed himself with one. Do you think it's like it's all going well?
I think it might all be happening.
Is it Rahm week and it's just gonna happen right now?
It's hard to make a case against him, but yeah, it easily could be. He had a full like training session today with like Jose Maria Olazabal. It was almost too much going on. He was working on his chipping, short game, full swing. I was like, Jose, take a step back, let Rahm do his thing. But it looked like he was trying to teach an amateur, but it was a number 2 player in the world. It just seemed like he was right in his face with all this mechanical, technical stuff.
Interesting. All right, one and done. I have used Joel Dahmen, Jon Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, Patrick Cantlay, Xander Schauffele, Patrick Reed, Will Zalatoris. So I am going to use Justin Thomas. And I just think he's going to win. I think you don't have any other guy since the restart who leads 2 different strokes gain categories. He hits it far enough. It's going to come down to the putter. JT time. Let's go.
It honestly just comes down to his putting. It's crazy to think like and you might be able to see it on day one if he rolls in like a 20-15 footer early, like that just could be all the confidence he needs to put it all together.
He's going to steal one.
I love I've been banging that drum all week and whatever I've been talking on. So I wish I could take him here, but I'll go with Koepka.
Brooksy season.
I just can't quit him at major championships.
All right, you have not used him. I'm just checking. So you've used Redmond, Xander, Burns, Ricky Fowler, who I talked to the other day.
I haven't listened to that, but nice. How's Fowler doing? You one up me. It's better than. Well, no offense to Hughes, but
oh my gosh,
a little more prominent.
He very nice. I mean, it was kind of not awkward, but like his agent's on the line, PR firms on the line, right? It was very corporate, but it doesn't. But once you start, it doesn't make it feel that way, right? He's very thoughtful. He gives.
Was he plugging Rocket Mortgage and Farmers Insurance and
Mercedes Benz is what we had to plug.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we didn't have to, but we just kind of threw it a little bone. But once we actually started talking to him, it was really nice. He's thoughtful. It was all good. Yeah. All right. So you've used Fowler, Morikawa, Wolf, Stenson, now Brooks, Koepka. I'll tally up these. Where we're at
some point
here. Yeah.
Sweet.
What else? Anything? Any final?
Honestly, I wish it was starting tomorrow because this preview stuff is getting out of hand. But yeah, we're a day away now. Well, this is probably going to come out on Wednesday. I wish it started.
I'll drop this on Wednesday.
I wish it started today.
There you go. Good job. I can't wait. I mean, my group is up on
that is, I got to figure that out and plug it into the TV to get it going. Cause that is, if they say it's live, every shot's live, which is what it says on the app, at least that is going to be, it's going to be a lot of golf to consume.
You know what I love on their website is that they have like the real leaderboard. Like it looks like a real leaderboard and has the rankings.
Like those like individual digits and stuff. Yeah, that's good.
So sick. 4 a.m. wake up call for us West Coasters.
They're starting early. That's the tough one for you. This is like Open Championship stuff for me. But yeah, 7 a.m. is not as bad.
They got to get in before the sun goes down. Sweet.
Should be good. Masters.
Really appreciate it. Masters, it's here. This is it.
I've been working on the score since April 2018, and this is only my second Masters I've covered.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I started the week after the Masters and when Reed won, and now this is only the second. It's been a long time for two majors or for two Masters.
Well, it's
looking forward to it though.
It's finally here. You can get Eric Patterson's work at thescore.com. You can follow him on Twitter at @EPatGolf. You can follow me at RickRunGood. This has been 300 Yards to Unknown, and we'll catch you next time.